Friends, welcome to this video. In this video, we are discussing the previous year question paper of LDCE exam for the year 2019-20. This is paper 2 for category 1, 8 and 11. In this question paper, we'll be discussing the first 20 questions of paper 2. So let's begin with question number 1. These questions are primarily from the topic Manual of Office Procedure. So I'll be using two official sources, which are CSMOP, which is Central Secretariat MOP, and one is the ISTM notes on MOP. So both of them are mentioned in the syllabus. So we'll utilize these two official sources to find out the right answers. So let's begin. The integrated headquarters of the Ministry of Defense comprises which of the following headquarters? So for this, we'll have to go to page number 23 of this MOP. On page 23, if we see in para 2.5, it says that it comprises of Army headquarters, Naval, Air headquarters and Defense Staff headquarters. So right answer will be option A, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next question is, which of the following is not a statutory body? So let's try to solve this question without referring to MOP. So clearly the last two statements, Central Vigilance Commission, we know it was set up. It was set up through a statutory act, which is CVC Act of 2003, and option D, Central Information Commission, was set up under the mandate of RTI Act. Now the tricky one is statement 2 and statement 1. So the statement 1, Central Board of Secondary Education is not a statutory body. So for that we'll refer to page 24 of MOP, and under para 2.9, where autonomous bodies are described, that what are these bodies. So these are the bodies which execute the policies made by the government. They are fully or partially funded by the government, and as an example, Central Board of Secondary Education is given here. Hence it is not a statutory body, it is an autonomous body. Statement B, the Central Board of Film Education, Film Certification, this was set up under the Cinematograph Act of 1952. Hence this is also a statutory body. Therefore the right answer is option A. Next question is statement 3. Which one of the following statements concerning a secretary to the Government of India are correct? So question 3 has given us 4 statements. So for that, let's go to page number 29 of this MOP, where the functionaries and functions are described, starting from the top level, which is secretary, then going downwards in the hierarchy. So statement 1 says he or she is a disciplinary authority for all officers and staff serving in the department. So nowhere is in the definition of secretary or the functions of secretary it is mentioned that he is the chief, he is the disciplinary authority for all officers. Hence this statement is incorrect. Statement 2 says he or she is the chief accounting authority of the ministry or department. So yes, he is the chief accounting authority. This is true. Therefore statement 2 is right. Next, statement 3 says he or she is the administrative head of the department. So let us search. Yes, administrative head of the department and ministry. Statement 4 says he or she is a member of department related standing committee of the parliament along with the minister. So first of all, this, if you know this thing, that no minister is part of departmental related standing committee, and also it is a committee comprising of members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So secretary is not a member of legislature, hence he is not a member of this committee. Hence this statement is also incorrect. So only the correct statements are 2 and 3, hence the right answer is option C. Let's move on to the next question. A proposal concerning ex-servicemen health scheme was referred by Ministry of Defence to Ministry of Health for concurrence, as it had a bearing on the CGHS scheme. However, the concurrence was not given by Ministry of Health. Against this, which one of the following statements will be correct? So in this question, a scenario has been given, and let's try to find a rule in MOP or the para in MOP which describes the situation. So for that, we'll go to page number 34. In 4.2 subpara 2, it is given that when the subject of a case concerns more than one department and the second department does not give its concurrence, the decision will be taken by the higher authority, which is cabinet or any committee of a cabinet. Hence, statement A is the right statement. As there is a deadlock, so to remove that, the matter will be referred to the higher authority. Next question is number 5. A bill concerning any matter requiring legislative approval can be introduced in the parliament with approval of which of the following authorities apart from minister in charge of the department. So in this case, a bill has to be introduced in the parliament, but it requires which of the whose approval. So for that, we'll refer to page 37. So it explains the process of decision making. In this case, in legislative matters in which approval of parliament or cabinet is required. So it is given as below. Through a flow chart, it has been described that if a decision making has to be done and it requires approval of parliament or cabinet or a committee of the cabinet. So in this case, we'll go directly here that we'll obtain the approval of cabinet or the committee of a cabinet, and then it will go to parliament. It will be introduced in the parliament. Hence, the right answer is statement D. Approval of cabinet or appropriate committee of cabinet is required before introduction of a bill in parliament. Next question is number 6. Which of the following statements are correct? Now, statement 1 says there is no bar on handling classified information through e-office by officers of the rank of GS and above. Now, as per MOP of 2019, it is right. But now in the latest version of CSMOP 2022, this para has been removed. So this paper is of year 1920. So I'll go as per the old MOP to find the right answer in this particular case. So statement 1 is true, that there is no bar on handling classified information through e-office by the officers of rank JS and above. Fine. Next statement is the officers of rank US and above or equivalent can be provided with the VPN for working from home. So as per CSMOP of 2019, DS and above rank officers can be given. And in new MOP, there is no mention of this VPN thing and the rank to which they can be given. Statement 3 says the officers of the rank of dealing officers and above or equivalent are required to use digital signature certificate for electronically signing the e-files in e-office system. So for that, if you refer to this page 79 of MOP, in box number E.7.1, you will see that it is given clearly that it is mandatory for a dealing officer of rank of DS and above to of the rank dealing officer equivalent to use this digital signature or e-sign the electronic files. So statement 3 is correct. Next statement is DSCs are to be procured by the individual officers and not by the ministry department where they work. So as a matter of common sense, why will individual officers will purchase such as high-end thing or such a sophisticated technology from their own side? So this is incorrect. This is also covered in box that DSCs are to be procured by the individual ministries. So option statement 4 is incorrect. Now what question is asking is which are the correct statements. So UPSC has not considered this question for calculation because none of the options are fitting. But if we go by old MOP, I think option C could have been marked as the right answer, which is 3 only, as other 3 statements have something or other incorrect in them, and only option 3 is correct as per the latest version of MOP. Let's discuss the next question, which is number 7. Which one of the following statements are incorrect? So this is also a question where we had to apply some uh, reasoning based on our reading of MOP. There's no direct mention of these statements in MOP. So statement 1 says no oral directions can be given by an officer below the rank of GS to any subordinate officer or staff. There's no rank specified like that, so any senior can give you oral directions, but the only thing is that he or she has to confirm those instructions in writing as soon as possible. So this is incorrect. Next statement says no officer can give directions to a subordinate officer through social media platforms. So social media platform, if you consider WhatsApp or Telegram, they can of course tell you to do this or that work, and but the only question is that they have to confirm or you have to take their approval in writing at the next available opportunity so that paperwork is complete. Hence this is also incorrect. In present time we can get directions through social media. No directions can be given by an officer to his or her subordinate officers on matter in respect of which the latter has the power to decide. So suppose there is a matter in which under secretary has full power to take a decision. So JS can guide him because he is the head of the department and head of the wing. So he can give his instructions or advice to US and US has to follow it. Even though US has full authority to take decisions, maybe it's a matter of leave of some assistant or the leave of some MTS LDC in which under secretary has been empowered, but still JS can tell US to follow some principles and can give some directions. Like leave cannot extend for more than 5 days at a stretch, or leave should be taken in a staggered manner. No two assistants can go leave on the same month. Similarly, something like that. Next statement is if directions are given by an officer who is not the immediate superior of the officer to whom instructions are given, the latter is required to bring it to the notice of his or her immediate superior at the earliest. So this has been given in page 84 of MOP in para 7.10 in subpara 2. So suppose a JS directly calls an assistant and tells him or her to make a noting, and this ASO puts it in writing, but later on he has to inform the undersecretary or SO to whom he or she actually reports about this matter. So option 4 is correct. Hence we are the options which are not correct, and 1, 2 and 3 are not correct. Hence the right answer is option A. So again I'll repeat one more point which I have been repeating in all my videos, that please write that question is asking incorrect statements before you solve the questions. Suppose if you after solving this question you reach here and you read that it is saying that select the correct answer, so you think that we have to only mark options which are correct, so you will take option D as the right answer because this is the statement which is only correct, hence you will get negative marking, so you have to avoid that. Hence you just write select the not correct statements here, something you write so that once you reach the end of the question you know that you have to take a statement which contains option which contains incorrect statements. I hope you got my point. So now next question is number 8. Which of the following statements are not correct in respect of office memorandum as a form of communication? So we have multiple forms of communication: OM, letter, ID note. So we'll go to page 95 where OM has been defined. So as per this, statement 1 is incorrect because it is used by the ministries for communicating with their employees. OM देते हैं, किसी ने कुछ गलत किया होता है तो उसको मेमो दिया जाता है, तो we call it like that. So option 1 is straight away incorrect. It is written in third form. It bears no salutation, and yes, it can be used for seeking and providing information among various sections within the ministry. So Only option 1 is incorrect, hence the right answer is A. Next question is, which of the following statements regarding communications to the CAG of India are not correct? Again, it is asking incorrect statements. So let's move on to next page, page 99. In para 8.8, it is saying that references to constitutional authorities. So in that, CAG is a constitutional authority. I think para 150 or 148 of Constitution defines the setting up of CAG, the rule of CAG. As per this, the references will be only made through Ministry of Finance, except where references are received from CAG on audit paras. Therefore, statement 1 says that these can be sent directly by the ministries concerned in all cases, not in all cases, so this is wrong. This can be sent directly if these are related to audit paragraph. Yes, we have written, we've seen that, except when received from CAG on audit paras. Statement 3 says these can be sent only through Ministry of Finance except when. So this is the complete statement, so this is also right. There is no specific instructions. Yeah, instructions are there, that's what we are saying. So this is also incorrect, hence we have to tell statements which are not correct again. So don't mark 2 and 3 as right answer in case it is there. So option is 1 and 4 only is the right answer, option D. These statements are incorrect. Next is question number 10. In question number 10, it is asked on President orders. Which of the following in respect of orders and instruments made in the name of President of India? Not correct. Again, क्वेश्चन आस्किंग यू इनकरेक्ट. बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन पूछे गए हैं जिसमें गलत स्टेटमेंट बताना है. थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज करने के लिए, थोड़ा सा डिफ़िकल्टी लेवल रेस करने के लिए घुमा के पूछते हैं. सो बिफोर यू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन, इफ़ यू रीड स्टेटमेंट बी एंड स्टेटमेंट सी, they both are mutually exclusive. So either B can be right or C can be right. So these can be signed by an officio. Sorry, this can be signed by an officer having regular or ex officio status of and above under secretary. Now in statement C, it is saying should be signed only by additional secretary or secretary. So either B can be right or C can be right. So it is sometimes very much possible that one of them are correct. So you could, if you don't know the answer, you can easily ignore option A and option D, क्योंकि दोनों में से एक में कुछ ना कोई सही है, ऐसा आप मान सकते हैं इन क्वेश्चंस के अंदर. सो इसके बाद अगर आप रीजनिंग करें तो क्या आपने देखा है कि सैंक्शन ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट इज इशूड इन, ऐसा एक सैंक्शन आता है उसमें केवल सेक्रेटरी आई साइन करता है? नहीं. सो बेसिकली अंडर सेक्रेटरी साइन करते हैं ग्रुप ऑफिसर जहाँ से स्टार्ट होते हैं हमारे. सो ऑप्शन बी इज़ द right option and option C is the incorrect option. So you can solve this question even without checking the MOP, but if you want to check, you can go to page 119, para 9.3, sub para 1. Let me show you just for reference where it is written authentication of government orders, rank of under secretary. You can read it in detail later. Next question is 11. Which one of the following statements regarding the citizens or client's charter are correct? So for that you can go to page 177. It's a long book, but it is, reading this will fetch you 20 marks for 20 क्वेश्चन. 20 क्वेश्चन आते ही आते हैं MOP के. इस पर अच्छी अगर ग्रिप है आपकी तो आप काफ़ी अच्छा स्कोर 25 नंबर यहीं से निकाल सकते हैं. सो आई वो रिटन द सब पैरा नंबर ऑल्सो. 14.2 के अंदर कौन सा स्टेटमेंट कौन सा सब पैरा में दिया हो गया है. फॉर एग्जांपल, इट इज़ एनफोर्सेबल इन कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ, so it is not enforceable actually. In sub para 2 it is given. So like that, statement 2 and 3 are correct. Statement 4 is incorrect because it is saying that contract officers on citizens charter are appointed by ministry in consultation with CVC. So there is no requirement of consultation with CVC. It's done by ministry on their own. So statement 4 is also incorrect. Right answer is 2 and 3, which are the correct statements. So option B you can tick safely. Now we are moving on to other source, ISTM MOP. So for that, let me open the PDF for ISTM MOP. So we have notes on office procedure by ISTM. So let's read the question number 12. Which of the following statements are not correct? वापस से, an employee may be permitted to leave the office early on consecutive days with the sanction of secretary of the department or equivalent officers. So एक सेक्रेटरी का अप्रूवल इस चीज़ के लिए आई थिंक थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया, बट लेट्स सी व्हाट इज़ गिवन इन द MOP on page 17. So it is saying that in charge of administration या एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर का अप्रूवल चाहिए, and statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 says person reaching office within 10 minutes of the opening hours are not considered to be late. So यहाँ पे लिखा है कि they are nevertheless late. Late तो है but it may be condoned unless it becomes a matter of frequent occurrence. They are late but छोड़ सकते हैं अगर एक आध बार कभी हो गया तो, but statement is wrong because they are considered late. Late attendance can be condoned unless it becomes a frequent occurrence. Yes, actually ये combined statement है, तो second part ठीक लिखा है question में. Casual leave is not a recognized form of leave nor it is subject to any rules. Yes, and leave rules if you will read in detail will cover this. Well, casual leave is not a type of leave and it is not subject to any rules, so it is right. Hence incorrect statements are 1 and 2, so right answer is option A. Let's move on to next question, number 13. Which of the following statements are correct? The Administrative Tribunal Act 1985 does not apply to secretarial staff of either House of Parliament. So CAT का जो चैप्टर है STM में, वहाँ से क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. Let's go to page 128. So in this we'll read applicability and non-applicability. So non-applicability, the persons appointed to the secretarial staff of either House of Parliament are exempted. Hence statement 1 is true. A two-member bench is constituted to hear cases dealt with a single bench where question of application of law of the land is involved. So yes, in next page, a two-member bench or division bench deals with all those cases. Refer to it, and those dealt by single bench when question of application of law of the land is called for. So statement 2 is also right. Statement 3 says application to the tribunal can be filed within 2 years. So on page 132 we'll see it is only 1 year from the date on which the final order which is being challenged is made. So statement 3 is wrong. Statement 4 says applications concerning disciplinary cases involving any of the major punishments can be taken up only by the larger bench of the tribunal. So actually they are taken up by the division bench of the tribunal, not the larger bench. So it is written division bench कौन से केस डील करता है उसमें these cases are mentioned here. Hence statement 4 is also incorrect. So we are asked statements which are right, hence 1 and 2 are the right statements. So correct answer is option A. Next question is which of the following terms describes the termination of a session of Lok Sabha? So it is very clearly prorogation. Dissolution is dissolving of the house. Guillotine is putting lot of pending matters together for voting. Adjournment is a termination of a sitting, not a session. You can read more about these terms in detail on page number 63 of ISTM MOP. Next question is a mix of both the sources, ISTM and CSMOP. But let us discuss this question. In the context of e-office procedure, which of the following statements are correct? Statement 1. Comeback case means a case received back for further action such as re-examination or preparing a summary of the case. So in CSMOP on page 210 and para 11, you can check that this is the right definition of a comeback case. I'm not opening again CSMOP to save time. Next is docketing. It is actually similar in e-office and physical office. So docketing means making entries in the noting portion of a file about the serial number assigned to each item of correspondence for its identification, ताकि नोटिंग में देख के आपको पता लग जाए कि अगर कुछ करस्पॉन्डेंस पोर्शन मेंशन किया गया है तो आप डायरेक्टली फाइल में जाके करस्पॉन्डेंस वाले पेज पे जा सकते हैं डिटेल में पढ़ने के लिए. So this is true. Metadata stores data about the structure, context and meaning of data. It is actually dictionary meaning of the term metadata. और उसको ये भी कहते हैं कि metadata is data about data. तो डेटा अबाउट डेटा का मतलब कि डेटा का स्ट्रक्चर, कॉन्टेक्स्ट एंड मीनिंग एक तरह का डेटा है और किसी और डेटा को डिफाइन कर रहे हैं हम. स्ट्रक्चर, कॉन्टेक्स्ट एंड मीनिंग are the three characteristics of a data, and these three when stored together becomes metadata. Statement 4 is standard taxonomy, the standard classification across all ministries, departments of files, receipts and etc. into groups. So this is also standard definition, so this is also true. So all the four statements are right, hence option A is the right answer. Now again the question is asked on e-office, so for that we will have to refer e-office PDF. Let me read the statements first. Which of the following statements regarding e-office procedure is correct? The only two emergency greetings authorized for use on cases are immediate and priority. So let me open e-office PDF so that you can see the right answer. Let's go to page number 21. For e-office, the urgency gradings are only two, immediate and priority. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 says the gradings of urgency assigned to a case are to be reviewed by all concerned at different stages of its progress and where necessary revised. So जब फाइल ऊपर जाती है तो of course urgency grading can be reviewed by the senior officer and revised if required. So this is also true as given in subpara 4. Urgency gradings. Next statement says the reference C file, even if it is linked in use or circulation, can be linked with other e-files in read-only mode. So इसका तो जो ऑफिशियल सोर्स है ये आप लोगों को ढूंढना है ई फाइल के बारे में, बट यहाँ मैं सोर्स डिस्कस नहीं कर रहा इस क्वेश्चन का बिकॉज ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. इस क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के लिए आपको अगर पहले दो स्टेटमेंट्स का पता है कि करेक्ट है, सो ओनली ऑप्शन डी विल फिट बिकॉज इट इज़ द ओनली ऑप्शन विच कंटेन्स 1 and 2 as the option. So 1, 2 and 3 is the right answer. और कोई ऑप्शन यहाँ पे फिट नहीं बैठ रहा. सो सारे ऑप्शंस, सारे स्टेटमेंट्स का अगर आपको नहीं पता तो भी यू कैन सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन बाय selecting the other statements. So UPSC does not expect you to know everything. Some questions you can solve like this and gain an edge over other competitors. Next statement is again on CSMOP. Which of the following statements regarding single e-file system are correct? So on page number 98-99 on para 8.7 you can get the paragraph on e-file system, single e-file systems. So it is basically more or less similar to physical single file system, which is SFS. So as per that, SFS is adopted when a non-secretariat organization has to obtain sanction of department on any matter on which decision cannot be taken under the delegated powers. ये बेसिक डेफिनेशन है कि सिंगल फाइल सिस्टम कब यूज़ करता है. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट सेज SFS फाइल नीड नॉट बी एन ID नंबर. दैट इज ऑल्सो ट्रू. You can read more on this page. Statement 3 says SFS files are to be invariably routed through central registry of the department concerned. Now, again, I'm not mentioning the paragraph in which it is given in MOP, because clearly कहीं दिया हुआ नहीं है. Let's move on to next statement. Conventionally, the secretariat voting on an SFSE file starts on new page. That is, as a principle, true. So the only option which contains 1, 2 and 4 are is option A. Hence all these statements are true. So option A is the right answer. So again we solve this question despite not knowing that despite not knowing the source of all the statements. We only knew about 3 of out of 4 statements, but we can solve the question by elimination and selection technique. हो सकता है आपको पता होता कि स्टेटमेंट 1 इनकरेक्ट है. In that case you can easily eliminate statement 1 and you can mark C as the right answer. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, let's move on to the next question. According to Government of India Allocation of Business Rules 1961, the President may entrust the responsibility for specified items of business affecting one or more than one department to which of the following ministers. So here ministers what is being used. So for that we'll refer to page 32 of ISTM-MOP. Let me open it again. So let's go to page number 32. So it gives us information about allocation of government business, and it is clearly mentioned that President may entrust to a minister who is in charge of any other department or to a minister without portfolio. Means he does not have any charge of any department. So let's do some reasoning. Statement 1 says that he can allocate it to Prime Minister only. He is a minister without any portfolio, or maybe with a portfolio, but only is the wrong keyword. Hence statement 1 is wrong. Minister in charge of any other department, yes, true. A minister who does not have a portfolio, true. Home Minister, again it is a very specific term. Yes, Home Minister can be given, but this directly falls under this head, and we don't have option 2, 3 and 4 in this question. So right answer is 2 and 3 only. यहाँ अगर 2, 3 and 4 होता तो maybe we could have ticked, but still safe option is 2 and 3 because that's the definition of this part of this question. Next question is number 19. Which one of the following forms of communication is to be used while communicating with foreign governments? So OM का हमने पहले देख लिया. DO लेटर आप देख लें कि इन थोड़ा सा इनफॉर्मल होता है. प्रेस कम्युनिक्यू वो भी आपको पता है. So letter is the right answer. For that you can refer to page 41 of ISTM-MOP. A table is given where all these forms of communication and their application have been defined. किस condition में कौन सा form of communication use होगा. So option D is the right answer foreign government के केस में. Statement question 20 is saying that which of the following statements regarding the constitution of department related standing committee of parliament is correct. So again मैंने आपको क्वेश्चन के अंदर बताया था इसके बारे में, but again you can refer to page 110 and 111 of ISTM rules, ISTM-MOP. So statement 1 says each committee consists of not more than 45 members, which is true. In that 30 members will come from Lok Sabha and 15 will come from Rajya Sabha. Members are drawn from both houses of parliament. Yes, as I told you, 30 plus 15. Minister of the department concerned serves as chairman of the committee. नहीं, मिनिस्टर मेंबर ही नहीं होता कमेटी का, और कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए ही ऐसा किया था कि मिनिस्टर को उसका मेंबर नहीं बनाया जाता. So even if somebody who is a member of departmental committee and he or she becomes a minister, they have to resign from the committee. सो नो मिनिस्टर इज अ मेंबर, सो जब मेंबर ही नहीं है तो कमेटी का चेयरमैन बनने का तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं रेज होता. Next statement is one of the functions of these committees is to consider the demands for grants of the ministry or department concerned and make a report on the same to the house. तो ऐसा नहीं कि मिनिस्ट्री ने डिमांड पुट करी और उसी का ही मिनिस्टर्स को रिपोर्ट कर रहा है, उसके ऊपर कंसल्टेशन करके पार्लियामेंट को ब्रीफ कर रहा है. सो दिस इज़ ट्रू, दिस इज़ द वन ऑफ द फंक्शंस. So right answer is 1, 2 and 4 only. No, I don't know why UPSC has not taken this question into calculation, maybe due to some typo in some of the statement, but right answer should be 1, 2 and 4 only, which is option number C. So with that we have come to end of this video where we have discussed 20 questions of paper 2 of SLDC exam for the year 2019 and 2020. For more such informative videos you can subscribe to our channel, and we will be bringing discussion on the remaining questions of this paper soon. Till then, take care and goodbye.